Hey everyone, and welcome back to the POTS Perspective. And today I want to dive into something that's been a big part of my journey with POTS: movement. Finding ways to work out or even just move my body has been tricky, but also really rewarding. I'll be sharing what's helped me, like yoga, boxing, stretching, and simple circulation boost workouts, plus the challenges I've run into along the way. If you ever wondered how to balance exercise with POTS without overdoing it, this episode is for you. I would like to first go into how I first realized that exercise could help you and hurt your symptoms. So, for most of my life, I danced. And not just one, like ballet class, I would be dancing all genres, modern, theater, all of that. And I'd be dancing intensely, like 4 hours a day, and like maybe even a whole day on weekends. And this was pre-diagnosis, so I would get these little like dizzy spells and stuff, but I kind of just pushed through them. And I feel like it made my symptoms worse for me now. I feel like it kind of damaged some of my autonomic stuff because, that's what POTS affects. But as I am doing a lot of exercise now, I've realized to stop when I get that massive rush to my head and get a massive headache when I sit up. I know when to stop when my hands are getting really, really cold. I also know when my hands and feet are getting cold that sometimes it's because I need to move. And that's kind of the struggle with working out and moving with POTS. And as I am a junior in college now, I realized that sometimes movement isn't, what can I say? It's not as accessible sometimes because I have a lot of 2.5 hour classes, and a lot of them are sitting down and not really moving around. And I've noticed that my symptoms are a little worse and it makes me harder to focus or to even speak. I'm just sitting there like a lump. There is a lot of challenges of exercising with POTS, like the dizziness, the heart rate spikes, overheating and fatigue, and the frustration of not keeping up with like typical workouts. Like, oh, you should work out at least 30 minutes a day, but like sometimes your body can't handle 30 minutes. It can maybe handle a 15-minute or even a 10-minute or even a 5-minute chair workout. And that's okay. Sometimes it can be frustrating because you feel like that you're limited and different because you can't do all these things. Like, I can't go on roller coasters. I know this is kind of like off topic, but I can't go on roller coasters, and all my friends can. So when they go to parks and stuff, I kind of feel left out because I'm just sitting there, or I just don't even go because I don't want to waste my money. What has been working for me a lot is doing these three things: yoga, because it is calming, grounding, and gentle; boxing, because of my strength, it helps with the circulation, as well as stress release; and then stretching and low impact movements like walking, Pilates, resistance bands. I usually do those on days that I have long college days, so when I come home, I can still move, or in the morning before I leave, I can still move around. And I usually try to focus on consistency over intensity because this past week I was like, you know what? I feel good. Let's do an ab and core. And I did a 15-minute ab and a 15-minute core, and let me tell you, it did not help my symptoms at all. My chest was so tight and I felt kind of dizzy. So if there's any tips that I have for anyone listening to this, is to listen to your body and to stop before you crash. Do not do what I just did this past week and push through it all, because you will regret it. And I'm still feeling the repercussions of going and pushing through that and not stopping. and to hydrate with electrolytes before and after the movement and slow and like a little bit during it, because if you don't, you will feel it. And to start small, also start small with like chair yoga, light weights. I'm talking about 1-2 pounds, and just stretching, because even if you just stretch, you're moving your body. I also want to prioritize recovery and rest days, because what I've been doing lately is that on Saturdays and Sundays when I wasn't in school would be my rest days. But now I keep Sunday as a sort of reset day. Usually after I do work, if I'm working, I have a nice reset night and I try to get to bed early so the next day I can move around. I like to change up my routine sometimes based on how I feel. So on Monday, if I do not feel like doing an abs and core, a light abs and core, I will do a yoga instead. And on Tuesdays, when I don't feel like doing arms and my back, I usually just try to walk on a treadmill or use, I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like a bike, but you can use it in the house and you put it on the floor and you can kind of like pedal. And I think that's also useful too, because you can do that while watching a movie, doing your homework, doing anything that requires sitting, basically. As I'm telling you my routine, you don't have to follow mine, because what works for me does not work for you or might not work for you. But build a routine that is flexible and not rigid, like I just said. Like on Mondays, like if I don't feel like doing one thing, I'll like move things around. And example this week, on Wednesdays, I usually do like a ballet workout or like a leg workout, or I go to a bar class. But on Wednesday, I did not feel like doing that whatsoever. So I switched it up. I did it the next day, today, and I felt great. I feel pretty good right now. I mean, I'm a little tired, but who isn't who has POTS? That honestly, like having a flexible schedule is something that is necessary. It's not optional. I also feel that fitness, when people think of fitness, they always think having to work out all days of the week, having to work out for at least 30 minutes to an hour every single day. And honestly, that's not realistic, especially for someone who has POTS or any chronic illness. And I also want to say progress is personal, and it's not about comparing. If you ever see anyone online being like, oh, I want to look like that, oh, I want to do that, oh, why isn't that me? It's because their progress was totally different than what you're going through. 1, they probably don't have POTS. And 2, it's not about comparing yourself. And I honestly think that is very important. And I also want to say to celebrate the small wins, like finishing a yoga session or sitting up without getting dizzy. Those small wins turn into big ones later. Like when I stepped away from doing dance because I wanted to focus on myself. When I got diagnosed, when I came back, it was a little harder because my body wasn't conditioned to do that. And so it was hard for me because I was like, I used to do all this stuff. Why can't I do it now? And as I kept progressing and as the years went on, now I'm back even better than ever, I think, at dancing and doing all the stuff that I love. And you can find this too. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The POTS Perspective. I hope my experience and tips inspire you to explore movement in a way that feels good for your body. Remember, there's no perfect routine. It's all about finding balance and listening to yourself. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend or leave a review to help others find this show. Until next time, keep moving in ways that make you feel strong and supported.